We all know the story about Tesla and the pigeon, but it's time we turn our attention elsewhere. Nikola Tesla wonders that something very terrifying lives inside the pyramids of Giza. From being able to provide an energy source that could power the whole world, to eerie images, the pyramids within these huge wonders hold shocking secrets. Join us as we unravel the ingenious man's tireless efforts to discover the pyramids' mysteries. The Egyptian pyramids at Giza have stood the test of time and nature for thousands of years and remain one of the most mysterious and intriguing structures on Earth. Despite their age, they continue to fascinate people, including the brilliant inventor Nikola Tesla, the revolutionary tech maestro whose ideas have led to the creation of modern technologies such as smartphones, Wi-Fi, and AC electrical supply systems. Tesla was captivated by the pyramids from a young age and made it his life's goal to unlock their secrets, believing that they contained an incredible amount of energy that could generate power. Now, the pyramids have long been thought to be the tombs for the pharaohs of ancient Egypt, but not a single mummy has been found within them, and there are no indigenous Egyptian inscriptions or art on their surfaces. This has led to endless speculation about their true purpose, which Tesla believed was to harness energy. Now, as bizarre as it may sound, Tesla's fixation on the pyramids was astounding and valid. He was convinced they weren't just a marvel to behold, but had incredible powers. More so, he believed them to be capable of being advanced power plants. He racked his brain thinking that the pyramids were designed to harness the natural energies of the Earth and transmit them across vast distances. He had spent 6 years studying principles in his research on wireless energy transmission, and he needed it all to make sense desperately. He believed that the pyramids of Egypt were not just structures, but a source of unlimited energy. No, seriously. But his theory took into account the very structure of the pyramids. They were coated in white limestone, which acted as great insulation, and the blocks inside contained tiny crystals and metals. But that's not all, folks. The shafts of the pyramids were made of granite, which is slightly radioactive and allowed for the ionization of the air. But wait, it gets even crazier. The pyramids were built on underground water channels, which reminded Tesla of the paths of the dragon or ley lines. These are energy lines that run through magnetic vortexes and sacred places all over the world. From stone circles and megalithic monuments to churches and cemeteries, prehistoric cultures built these structures for an unknown purpose. And to top it all off, the aquifer transit of the subsoil modified these lines, making them even more powerful. This does sound like it's all out of a sci-fi movie, and that too a terrifying one. But Tesla wasn't one to sit around. He had to test his radical theories. He dedicated his time to building a blueprint of a giant structure that would later be called Tesla Towers, which we'll talk about in a minute. He believed that by harnessing the natural energies of the Earth and tapping into the ionosphere, he could create a global network of energy transmission that would revolutionize the way we live. And that beats the visionary Tony Stark, we think. In fact, in 1905, Tesla even filed a patent for his electromagnetic pyramid, a triangle-shaped design that would collect energy from the ionosphere and transmit it wirelessly around the world. He believed that this technology had the potential to power entire cities without the need for traditional power plants or transmission lines. And while Tesla's theories about the pyramids may seem wild and far-fetched, they also reveal the incredible depth and breadth of his curiosity and imagination. He was a true visionary who saw the world in a way that few others did, and his legacy continues to inspire and fascinate people to this day. So let's not reduce Tesla to just being the inventor of 80% of the gadgets we use today. Remember, this man's ingenuity when it came to invention surpassed everyone's during his time. And stick around to see how scientists today have proof that Tesla was onto something shocking and true. The year is 1890. The world was overtaken by Tesla's relentless innovation and discoveries. It would set the course for his life's work. By now, Nikola Tesla was being seen as a renowned inventor and electrical engineer. His colleagues considered him a man ahead of his time. You see, he had a unique perspective on the world, seeing connections and possibilities that others could not imagine. As a matter of fact, Tesla believed that mankind was already behind ancient cultures that had discovered how to harness the power of the pyramids. He was intent on his theory that older civilizations had constructed unreal architecture using this power. Tesla's belief in these huge monolithic structures being capable of transmitting energy was directly related to the Earth's energy vortex. It was just a question of decoding the secrets of the pyramid. And so he set to the task. His work with electricity was just one aspect of his genius, and he made a number of groundbreaking discoveries before the start of the 20th century. For example, Tesla invented a powerful coil that could generate high voltages and frequencies, leading to the creation of new types of lighting like neon and fluorescent lights, as well as the development of X-rays. Tesla also realized that his coils, which would be later known as Tesla coils, could be used to transmit and receive radio signals. In 1897, he swiftly filed for American patents, knocking out Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian inventor. Tesla persisted in developing his concepts for wireless transmissions, but when he finally pitched the notion of a wireless world to J.P. Morgan, he hit the jackpot. Morgan contributed $150,000 to the construction of a massive transmission tower because he was moved by Tesla's ambition. He wasted no time in hiring the famous architect Stanford White of McKim, Mead & White in New York to design the tower. And White was equally enthusiastic about Tesla's idea, as he was already a well-respected figure due to his role in Westinghouse's success with alternating current. Tesla's persuasive powers and the impressive reputation of his previous work made it easy for him to get people on board with his ideas. And the impetus behind his crazy ambition was a crazier theory about the pyramids that kept him going. He would go on to spend another handful of years transmitting energy wirelessly based on resonance, making both the transmitter and receiver coils vibrate at the same frequency. And one noteworthy point here is that his intentions were pure. He was hoping to distribute the energy for free globally. And so one of his most elaborate projects materialized. Here it is, the Tesla Tower, formerly known as the Wardenclyffe Tower. Tesla created and constructed this test wireless transmission facility on Long Island between 1901 and 1902. Its main objective was to wirelessly transport electrical energy across the air. And believe it or not, Tesla's fascination with the Wardenclyffe Tower and wireless energy transmission may have been influenced by his love for pyramids. More so, Tesla was bent on finding out how the pyramids were amplifying the Earth's natural energy. He believed that the pyramids were able to produce negative ions and that they functioned as giant capacitors that could store and transmit energy. Tesla even speculated that the ancient Egyptians may have used this technology for destructive purposes in battles and wars. Unsurprisingly, Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower had a similar design to the pyramids, with its large, imposing structure and central tower. The tower was over 60 meters high and was surrounded by a network of wires and coils, all designed to transmit electrical energy wirelessly through the air. He believed that this technology would revolutionize the world, allowing people to access free energy from anywhere in the world. Quite a noble pursuit, isn't it? Unfortunately, Tesla poured in his best efforts and the Wardenclyffe Tower never really functioned as intended, and a lack of funding prevented Tesla from completing the project. However, his work on wireless energy transmission laid the foundation for future advancements in the field. Today, the potential for wireless energy transmission remains one of the great challenges of modern technology, and numerous scientists have made timid advances in recent years. Despite his many contributions to science and technology, Tesla's legacy remains somewhat enigmatic. His fascination with the pyramids and his belief in the potential of wireless energy transmission are just two examples of his unique perspective on the world. While his inventions may have not always worked as intended, his ideas continue to inspire scientists and laypeople alike. But his odd fixations weren't just limited to the pyramids. He even had an obsession with certain numbers. To say Tesla was different from the rest of the crowd would be an understatement. Coupled with his pyramid obsession was his eerie understanding of mathematics, and he drew inspiration from the location of the pyramids and even their numerical significance. He became obsessed with the numbers 369, which he believed held the key to understanding the universe. It was common for him to make decisions based on sets of 3 and even drove around buildings 3 times before entering. As time passed, Tesla began to withdraw from the world around him. He displayed signs of obsessive-compulsive disorder, and some have speculated that he may have been on the autism spectrum. During meals, he insisted on having exactly 18 napkins on the table, and he would count his steps as he walked, and he claimed to have an abnormal sensitivity to sounds and an acute sense of sight. Those around him were forced to wonder about his obsessions. They believed that this addiction to numerology was linked to his belief in the fundamental mathematical laws that govern the universe. Deep down, he believed that the pyramids may have been deliberately designed with these ratios in mind. The Serbian genius believed that mathematics is a universal language and law that applies to everything in the universe. But this isn't unusual among scientists and physicists who believe maths governs the natural world. To say the Great Pyramids were inspired by mathematical concepts isn't a stretch. As a matter of fact, many ancient cultures, including the Egyptians, Greeks, and Mayans, are known to have extraordinary math skills. That's why their history is filled with impressive structures such as temples, palaces, and pyramids. These ancient cultures may have recognized the importance of mathematics in understanding the natural world and may have used it to express their beliefs and understanding of the universe. While we cannot know for certain what inspired the construction of these ancient monuments, it is clear that mathematics played a significant role in their design and construction. Their enduring legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of mathematics in understanding and appreciating the natural world. And speaking of math, is it possible that mathematics can lead us to mysteries about the planet too? To say the pyramids evoke mystery and shock isn't new. Many theories have been put forward to explain their purpose and significance. But now one of the most intriguing of these theories is that the pyramid was designed to reveal important information about our planet. Shockingly, the dimensions of the Great Pyramid are not random. It's suggested by scientists and historians that they are carefully calibrated to reveal the size and shape of the Earth. Did the builders of the pyramid have an intimate knowledge of the size and shape of our planet? One can't help but wonder. And did you know that some people believe the ancient Egyptians intentionally incorporated the number pi into the design of the Great Pyramid of Khufu? This was first proposed by a man named John Taylor in 1859. He found that if you divide the pyramid's perimeter by its height, you get a close approximation to 2 pi. He suggested that this might mean the pyramid was designed to represent the Earth. And later, other researchers expanded on his ideas, including a professor of astronomy named Charles Piazzi Smythe. But what's really interesting is that the slope of each face of the Great Pyramid is incredibly close to 4/pi, accurate to within 0.04%. But that's also why people continue to debate whether this relationship between pi and the pyramid is intentional or just a coincidence. Either way, it's pretty impressive to think that this ancient wonder of the world may contain such a mathematically precise design. This suggests that the builders of the pyramid did not only know the precession of the Earth's axis, but they also had a deep understanding of its significance. Does it shock you to learn that this knowledge was encoded into the design of the Great Pyramid? It suggests that the pyramid was not simply a tomb or a monument to a powerful pharaoh, but it was a sophisticated and carefully designed structure that was intended to reveal important information about the natural world. But it seems that Tesla's efforts will not go in vain. These astounding structures have finally been studied by scientists today, and it turns out he was right. Just a few years ago, a team of scientists used radio waves of different frequencies to study the interaction between the Great Pyramid and electromagnetic waves of a resonant length. A genius team of researchers from INTMO University in the Russian city of St. Petersburg led an effort to investigate the pyramid's electromagnetic properties. It's about time someone took Tesla's words seriously and investigated why he was fixated on the pyramids. They used a model of the pyramid to measure its electromagnetic response, and get this, they discovered that the structure has the ability to collect and concentrate electromagnetic energy in its chambers and at its base. We bet Tesla's smiling in his grave right now. They learned that the Great Pyramid has the ability to absorb electromagnetic waves of certain lengths. They tested waves ranging from 200 meters to 600 meters and found that the pyramid can significantly reduce the reflection of these waves. But get this, the discovery could lead to more efficient sensors and solar cells if the energy concentrating power could be replicated on a nanoscale size. The study was published in the Journal of Applied Physics and shows the practical applications of the pyramid's electromagnetic properties. Believe it or not, but this discovery has the potential to revolutionize the way we use and harness energy, and scientists are excited to explore what other secrets the Great Pyramid may hold. And researchers have even used a technique called muon radiography. It's a method with which they captured images of the inside of the pyramid. Muon radiography involves using muons, which are subatomic particles that are similar to electrons except they're much heavier. Shockingly, these particles can penetrate solid objects, including the Great Pyramid, and produce images that reveal the structure of the pyramid's interior. Despite the challenges of studying the pyramid's physical properties, the research has uncovered important insights into its behavior. The discovery of the pyramid's energy-concentrating power is a remarkable achievement that has the potential to change the course of electromagnetic energy research. Now maybe we'll finally get around to understanding how they were built. Alright folks, let's step back in time to 4,500 years ago and witness the incredible construction of the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Just like with the rest of the world, the enormity and precision of the Great Pyramids are what struck a chord with Tesla too. His obsession with these enigmatic structures had him mirror their designs in his inventions. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. From what history books tell us, the Egyptians did not have access to advanced tools and technologies, but somehow the ancient Egyptians were able to erect a structure that was more than 146 meters tall and contained about 2.3 million stone blocks. And guess what? Each block weighed between 2 and 80 tons. We're still puzzled over how they conquered this beast of a task. Now the foundation was laid with impressive precision, with the base being level and its edges aligned to the compass within 3/60ths of a degree, a remarkable feat considering that compasses did not yet exist. They used rough yellow limestone from nearby quarries to construct the core of the pyramid. They pried the limestone blocks from the ground using copper tools mixed with sand and rock powder. The heavier stones they used dolerite hammerstones to chip them out by hand. It's hard to imagine the amount of time and effort that went into building these massive structures with such limited resources. The ancient Egyptians were truly ingenious and resourceful. To build the Great Pyramids in just 23 years, an Olympic-sized swimming pool's worth of stone had to be quarried every 8 days. And modern-day pyramid-building experiments have shown that this amount of stone could be cut and moved by a quarry team of 1,200 to 1,500 workers, which was completely doable. While wheels were not yet invented during this time, the Egyptians were able to transport these heavy blocks by using boats to float them down the Nile and sleds and ramps to move them into place. It was a remarkable achievement that didn't require the help of aliens, but rather science, geometry, astronomy, and a whole lot of hard work. Unlike other pyramids, the Great Pyramid contains no artifacts, hieroglyphs, or elaborate wall art. While it's believed that the granite sarcophagus found in the king's chamber once contained Khufu's mummy, there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. In fact, no mummy has ever been found in any pyramid. And one can't help but wonder that the structure of the Great Pyramid is also quite unusual. It has such small chambers and narrow shafts that it fails to resemble a typical Egyptian tomb. Is it possible that it was built with a different purpose in mind? We'd be wise to recall that the precision with which the pyramid was constructed and the materials used to build it hints that it was designed for a more important function. And with researchers not being known to rest, they've chanced upon a unique discovery that tells us more about how the pyramids were built. We've all been scratching our heads since we were kids, wondering how these monstrous pyramids were built. Well, archaeologists can now rest because this new discovery has us all awestruck. Recently, a team of researchers stumbled upon a discovery that could change our understanding of how these structures were constructed. You see, while exploring an Egyptian quarry, the team chanced upon a ramp with stairways and post holes. They quickly put 2 and 2 together and realized that they were used to move the massive stone blocks. That would make constructing the pyramids more efficient than previously thought. Even though the idea of using ramps to move the stones had been suggested before, the ramp discovered by the team was much steeper than previously believed possible. The inclusion of steps and post holes on both sides of the rampway indicates that the builders could haul from both directions, using a pulley system to move the blocks at a quicker pace. This could have allowed more individuals to exert force at one time and move the blocks more efficiently. so we might be one step closer to understanding the mystery of the pyramids. This groundbreaking discovery could have significant implications for our understanding of the construction of the pyramids, which are one of the most remarkable feats of ancient Egypt. It also highlights the impressive resourcefulness of the ancient Egyptians who were able to devise advanced techniques with limited resources. The team's findings are soon to be published in a peer-reviewed journal, and it's hoped that this will lead to a greater comprehension of how the pyramids were built as well as how the ancient Egyptians lived and worked. And any remaining questions we have about these pyramids may hopefully finally come to rest. Get this, archaeologists and researchers have made a shocking new discovery inside Egypt's Great Pyramid. Had Tesla been alive today, he would have been able to come one step closer to solving the puzzles in his head. He had already made the Tesla oscillator based on the inside and outsides of the pyramids. Oh yes, it is noted that the starting lead wires of the oscillator have an angle of 51.84 degrees, which is the same as the slope of the Great Pyramid. Even the wire loop descend at an angle that matches the king's chamber within the pyramids. Well, Tesla would be doing a happy dance today if he knew we'd found a way to truly tap into the eerie walls of the pyramid. Oh yes, we literally have an understanding of what the inside of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world looks like. This discovery is bound to startle and give you goosebumps. The Scan Pyramids project was launched in 2015 as a collaboration between major universities in France, Germany, Canada, and Japan, as well as a group of Egyptian experts. The aim of this project is to use advanced technology to visualize hidden parts of the pyramid's interior without excavating it. As part of this 7-year international research project, a hidden passage was found inside the Great Pyramid of King Khufu, measuring 9 meters or 30 feet in length and more than 2 meters in width. The passage is a gabled corridor with a triangular ceiling found on the northern face of the pyramid, as revealed by Egypt's Tourism and Antiquities Minister Ahmed Issa to reporters at the ancient site in Giza. And yet, the newly discovered passage is not the first major structure found inside the Great Pyramid by the Scan Pyramids project. In 2017, the project announced the discovery of a passenger plane-sized cavity, marking the first significant discovery of a structure inside the Great Pyramid since the 19th century. The technology used in this research project is a mix of infrared thermography, muon radiography imaging, and 3D reconstruction. These non-invasive and non-destructive techniques allow researchers to visualize hidden parts of the pyramid's interior without having to excavate it. The Great Pyramid is the largest in Giza, standing at 146 meters tall and has 3 known chambers. Like other pyramids in Egypt, it was intended as a pharaoh's tomb and was built around 4,500 years ago. According to archaeologist Zahi Hawass, Egypt's former antiquities minister and head of the committee supervising the project, the discovery of the hidden passage may be protecting something significant. Hawass stated that there is a great possibility the tunnel is protecting something. In my opinion, it is protecting the actual burial chamber of King Khufu. This remarkable discovery brings us one step closer to understanding the mysteries behind the construction of the Great Pyramid, a structure that has left people awe-inspired for thousands of years. That's a wrap, folks. With the technology of today, pretty soon we'll get a deeper understanding of Tesla's theories. Comment below what astounds you the most about the pyramids.